Meetings in Dunedin earlier this month focused on the issue of what's called the living wage. A living wage has been set at $18.40 an hour, the minimum amount needed for a person to meet their needs. Union's Otago convener Fiona Matapo indicated after the meetings the idea could take root in the city. She joins us tonight. Good evening, Fiona. Tell us about Union's Otago. What does that organisation do?
Union's Otago is a collective of unions across the Otago region. It sits inside the CTU framework and is an opportunity for unions representing the diverse sectors and groups to come together monthly or bi-monthly to meet and talk about priorities and campaigns.
And what's been the organisation's involvement with the living wage?
Well, the living wage campaign itself is really about bringing together unions, faith-based groups, community groups. It's a whole town approach, if you like, to looking at how we can raise the quality of life for many people who are living below an inadequate wage. In fact, what we've got now is we've got a group of people that we call working people living in poverty, and so this is an opportunity for a number of groups to come together and address this issue.
Now, you attended some meetings earlier this month. How did they go?
Yes, we met on July the 3rd. That was our initial meeting and organised by the Service and Food Workers Union. And it was an opportunity just to get a sense of feeling around how we might start to make some first steps towards promoting the living wage campaign across Dunedin City first and foremost, and then perhaps more widely across the region.
Why do you think a living wage is important?
Well, we've placed ourselves in an embarrassing situation over the last 20 years, and I'm talking about we as Aotearoa New Zealand, in that we used to be one of the countries in the OECD that had a relatively low or a relatively small gap between high-income earners and low-income earners. And over the last 20 years, we've really fallen, and so now we've got big gaps, wide gaps, and we've got people living in poverty, and really that's just not acceptable.
There's been a suggestion that the issue could be taken further in Dunedin. Tell us about that.
Yes, so as I said, the initial meeting was really about getting a sense of where we might take it. We've had one school in Dunedin, North East Valley Normal, who embraced the idea of the living wage campaign and looked at their support staff in their school and raised the wage of their support staff to that of the $18.40, which is considered to be the living wage rate. So we've got some small snowflakes falling. From those snowflakes, we hope to build a snowball, and I think certainly there'll be an appetite for this, and because it's a global movement, it's not just a national or local movement. There have been amazing benefits for cities that have embraced the living wage campaign. So we hope that we might be able to introduce that sense of positiveness for Dunedin City people.
Union's Otago convener Fiona Matapo, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.